Hello, my Bill 4000 Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. We are back with another That Chapter. This one is titled, Spy Vanishes, is later found murdered inside his own suitcase. That's awful. Jeez. I just want to say thank you to everyone that wished me well. Like, I really do appreciate it. I am starting to feel a little bit better. Good and bad days, if that makes sense. Like, there's days where I feel like, ooh, I think I'm actually feeling better. Yeah. And then the very next day, it's like, oh my God, I'm dying again. And mainly it's the exhaustion and the headache and the wet cough. Like, as long as I keep cough drops in my mouth, I'm good. So, we're on our way. We're on our way. I'm excited to get into today's video. Hopefully you guys are excited as I am. If you are, please go ahead. Turn the mics down low. Put on something comfy, couple something special. Let's get spooky. No? Let's get, why did I say spooky? My head hurts. Sorry. Let's get intrigued. Still like to know how a spy ended up in his own suitcase. We're going to find out. I think we've actually heard this from someone else. I think maybe a Mr. Ballin video? Or Lazy Masquerade? I don't know. Alright, let's go ahead and get into today's video.
Stop this smell of decomposition escaping the flat.
So was this the perfect crime?
This was the perfect crime.
It was.
Hey you and welcome, my name is Mike, and in this video we're going to get into something that's much more like a spy novel than your usual missing persons unsolved death case. And that topic is the death of Gareth Williams. Gareth Williams was a Welsh mathematician who worked for MI6, the British Secret Service.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond.
James Bond.
James Bond.
And in 2010, he was found dead in the Secret Service safe house he lived in. He was found dead in a bag.
Well, he definitely ain't no damn James Bond
from
then, is
the
he?
outside. And wait till you get a load of this. The police ruled it an accident, if you can believe it.
The circumstances of his death in
How? How was it an accident? Okay, for one, just taking aside that we don't know how he's dead yet. We don't know how he's dead yet. Like, we know he's dead and he's in a suitcase in this bathroom. Did he accidentally jump into a suitcase and just stay in there long enough to just die? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that's not the case. I think it's murder. He was doing a training exercise in his bathroom where he was trying to make himself look more like a regular package. That way, whenever he was put through, TTA and the flight terminals and all that stuff, nobody would second guess him. And he could really just get into a plane and we wouldn't have to pay for him. What was the thought process on behind why he shoved his own self in a fucking suitcase? I would like to know.
his flat in Pimlico in London would have hit the headlines even without his connection with the security services. His body was found in his bathroom, locked in a red holdall. But could he possibly have got in there and locked the bag on his own?
This has never been in a place where everyone says it is entirely impossible.
Get my feet.
And I'm not saying that it would be easy, and I'm not saying that everybody could do it.
Shit, I've lost the padlock.
But really the line you have to get to is that theoretically this is possible.
Okay, where's the padlock? It might be up my butt.
To do. And
might
that's
be up
where
my
we
butt.
are.
Oh, God damn it. Why the f Why would anyone kill themselves like this?
Let's take a look at the unsolved death of Gareth Williams.
God damn it, why would anyone kill themselves like this?
Gareth Williams was described as a prodigy, a brilliant mathematician who graduated university at age 17. He was a really nice guy who was also a fitness fanatic.
Oh yeah.
He was an employee of the government communications headquarters, who was then seconded to the Secret Service and MI6 in London. His personal life gets, interesting. He supposedly had a £20,000 collection of high-end women's clothing and 26 pairs of designer women's shoes. Also, his former landlords had to rescue him in 2007 when he tied himself to the bed. For reasons. And he also visited bondage sites, though police did stress only on...
Oh. Secret agent man got a kinky side. Damn. Yeah, okay, he might have done it. Never mind. Is that what they're going to try to play? Is that like he was doing some kind of like sexual act and he thought it would be great to lock himself in a suitcase? I mean, it's a nice suitcase. I give you that. North Face.
Sporadic and isolated occasions. His family's lawyer suggested they coincided with him preparing for Secret Service training courses. Yeah, that's my reason too. He was, however, described as a world-class intelligence officer who, at the time he was found dead, was in the process of moving out of London. So you can see what's going on here and what led them to describe him being found naked and dead inside a bag in a bathtub an accident. But there is a hell of a lot more to it than just what he liked getting up to in his spare time. On the day he was found, after Gareth's sister alerted the police because they hadn't heard from him in like a week, 10 days, on the 23rd of August at 6:30 p.m, a uniformed officer was sent to Williams' top floor flat in a Georgian townhouse in Alderney Street, Pimlico. It was only a few hundred yards from the MI6 headquarters and it was used as a safe house for spies. A lettings agent who held a spare key showed the policeman in. He was asked to wait downstairs as the officer went up and entered. The place was spotless. 2 iPhones, some SIM cards and a few other bits and pieces sat on the table. Then he entered the bathroom and found a hold-all bag in the bathtub. Red liquid seeped from it. Inside was a body, in such a contorted position that he thought its legs and arms must have been cut off. Radioing for assistance, the policeman noted there was no signs of a struggle.
Oh, I don't think he did that himself.
This was not a robbery or home invasion. It was a neat job, which is a euphemism for a professional kill.
It was a hit.
When his body was finally discovered, he'd
We're getting into some John Wick shit now, bruh.
been dead for about a week, so it was in quite a bad state of decomposition. The heating in the apartment had also been turned up, likely to further escalate the decomposition of his body. The police investigation struggled, as they were being blocked by the security services from probing too deeply into Williams' life. Given his clearances and access to classified material, Williams' death triggered alarms, and the Secret Service quickly swept over the investigation.
One of the very weird things about this investigation is the person leading it, DCI Sebia, doesn't appear to have been able to talk to everybody involved. I think she's had to take things on trust. Some of the statements given appear to have been not entirely accurate. But I think while investigating a murder, she should be given access to everybody that
100.
knew him or everybody the police think should be interviewed.
100.
Detectives quickly established that Gareth hadn't been shot, stabbed, or hacked to pieces, and the toxicology reports, they came back inconclusive. Studying the zips and lock, police became certain that he could not have locked himself inside.
locking the bag from the inside. In a confined area, you can't access the lock from the outside. You can pull the material together, but your arms, when you're inside the bag, your arms are on the chest and there is no room to maneuver, but you actually can't get the lock through. There's no hole to get a lock through, so it becomes near impossible. I believe that he was assisted by a third party into that bath. I don't believe he died in that bath. I believe he died elsewhere in the flat. And again, I go back to the forensic evidence. We've got no prints, we've got no forensics around the bath.
And there was further proof that someone had been in the apartment with him. The front door. It had.
Listen, I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but I like to think I'm a decently strong person. How hard would it be to push hard enough to where you would just pop the zipper loose? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there's some packs out there that are made really fucking good. But if you could put enough pressure on a specific point around where the zipper is, or literally on the zipper, and you was in a I'm gonna die situation, you would rip out that motherfucker like the Incredible Hulk rips out his pants. You know what I mean? And to be a spy, clearly no James Bond, but to be a spy, did he not have a knife just keistered? He should have. He should have keistered him a knife.
Been locked from the outside. Reports by some less reputable news sources claimed he was a secret transvestite who was killed by a gay lover. Now, the fact that he was gay has two aspects to it. One, people began to think maybe it was some kind of sex act gone wrong. The second was that others claimed it was a smear job, that there was some weird sex act thing going on to cover up what actually happened to Gareth.
It's just out of character for Gareth, to me, to be honest with you, that Gareth was into anything like that, because...
So... maybe he wasn't into the whole cross-dressing and really, really kinky shit, and that was just all, like, made-up bullshit. Is this like kink shaming? Are we kink shaming? Give him a kink, take it away? I don't think we're allowed to do that. I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for a government organization to move in and make up some bullshit. I mean, we all know that. Bigfoot don't exist. I mean, that was just a dust on this thing right here, not a UFO. Well, that's not a lizard person. That's our, whatever. Oh, yeah, that's an actual governor. That's not a robot. No, that's not a body double. This is who this is. Man, we don't trust nobody. We've learned this. And to be an actual secret organization, part of the government, I don't see how it would be out of the realm of possibilities for them to fabricate a lie. I mean, I don't really give a shit if he dressed up like a woman or not. Who cares? But it does make a difference if he wasn't doing it and they just made it up to, like, try to throw people off of what actually happened. Man. Damn.
I truly do feel that he would have been quite open about.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't wear women's clothes in any way, shape, or form. So if I ever die and you hear that I was, it's a lie. It's a lie. Don't let the government get me, people. Don't let the government get me.
It, to be honest with you, because we spoke about a lot of personal things. I'm very, very open-minded, and I know he is as well. And
he was working with MI6 at the time of his death, with its focus on foreign targets and intelligence gathering, becoming more of a spy than a paper pusher. He was also working with the NSA to protect sensitive data. He was helping fight against terrorists and criminals who could in turn have targeted him. Shortly before his death, he was believed to have been monitoring foreign embassies in London. At his funeral, the head of MI6 showed up to pay his respects. Gareth had only been working there for less than a year.
That's crazy.
There are a lot of them. Now, the GCHQ actually came under fire because they never raised the alarm when Gareth failed to show for work. The fact that he was missing was raised by Gareth's sister, who alerted the authorities after she hadn't heard from him for over a week.
I find the idea that nobody knew or raised the alarm about his 7-day absence from work unconvincing, indeed unbelievable. I mean, think of what we're being asked to believe, that somebody on attachment to the UK's Foreign Intelligence Service, living in a flat a few hundred yards from its headquarters, can just not turn up to work for a week.
Right.
And nobody appears to be concerned or worried.
This has led to one theory. Some say he was killed after he hacked into a guest.
Well, I'm just saying, whenever James Bond is in trouble, he gets himself out of it. But M helps. Mom's always there, man. They need to get him a Judi Dench up in that bitch.
List of some event President Clinton was to attend as a favor for a friend.
Really?
This act breached his security clearance. That, amongst other freelance spying he was allegedly conducting, did not sit well with his bosses. He was working with the US National Security Agency in Washington around that time as well, being privy to a hell of a lot of sensitive US information. Maybe they thought he was a leaky ship?
Gareth's line manager at MI6 gave evidence at the inquest from behind the screen and was identified only as Witness G. He admitted Gareth's failure to turn up for work on Monday, August the 16th was unusual. By Friday, he checked the list of suggested actions for such an eventuality, which included calling hospitals, but he did nothing.
But there is one theory which I believe holds much more water. He was possibly, maybe, likely killed by the Russians, as he was investigating their links to money laundering at the time of his death. He was working with the Five Eyes intelligence network. The Five Eyes network comprised Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States.
This story is just a microcosm of the larger international spying cabal working together to peer into every nook and cranny of the world. So who exactly are these peeping partners? Well, they call themselves the Five Eyes, a partnership made up of intelligence agencies in 5 English-speaking countries: the US, the UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. And just like the Eye of Sauron, eyes see all.
Five Eyes monitors the SWIFT banking network, keeping an eye on dirty money being transferred around the world and to some of the top governments. SWIFT has been increasingly targeted by hackers seeking to redirect millions of dollars from banks around the world. A large number of Russian businessmen and companies are alleged to have laundered billions with the help of the Russian mafia, probably using SWIFT. Much like Russian defector Alexander Litvinenko, who accused top Russian governmental figures of corruption and ordering assassinations, and who he himself was assassinated, did Gareth suffer the same fate for delving too deeply into Russian affairs and corruption? According to BuzzFeed News, yeah, I know BuzzFeed sucks, but their news articles, they tend to be pretty good. Gareth Williams is among at least 14 people suspected of having been killed by Russian assassins on British soil. British intelligence agencies have also been secretly communicating with their American counterparts about suspicions that the spy was executed by Russian assassins. Or was he killed not because he was investigating the Russians, but because he turned them down? According to an article from 2010, a Russian defector has claimed that Gareth Williams was exterminated by Russian intelligence agents because he refused to become a double agent, and he also knew the identity of a Kremlin spy working inside British government communications headquarters. Oh boy. After the police announced in 2013 that they believed his death was an accident, the family of Gareth released a statement. The fact that the circumstances of his death are still unknown adds to our grief. Yeah, no one really buys the accident.
No.
Either way, what happened to Gareth Williams has been described as the perfect crime.
Most importantly, there was no DNA found on either the padlock, the zipper closures, anywhere around this bath. Got to touch something. He would have had to put his feet on the end of the bath to actually slide himself into the bag. But another key here was there was a scuff mark on the bath. Now when you take the actual bag, a scuff mark was found on the bath here. So my belief is that he was lifted, he was murdered, the bag was lifted, it scuffed the top, and he was dropped into the bath. With the heating up, the decomposition fluids would actually run down the plug hole, and it would stop this smell of decomposition escaping the flat.
So was this the perfect crime?
This was the perfect crime.
Who knows if we will ever really know who was behind it. Wink. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Mike out.
I'm not good at winking. I'm not good at winking, Mike. Mike. I'm not good at winking, bud. Set me up. There we go. Damn, I love that shit, man. I mean, I don't love the fact that the dude's dead like that. That's awful. But I love the just craziness that is this story. I mean, is it wrong? Is it out of the realm of possibilities to believe that he was murdered by our own government, the people he worked for, the people he worked with, some other government? I mean, it's MI6. Like, you're a known secret organization spy thing. Like, and what if he was murdered for not becoming a double agent, man? And then they just made him look out to be like some sexual fiend when he was like a hero, you know? We'll never fucking know because we're not allowed to. But what if the one about the one shit and the Kremlin and all that, what if that shit's true? How will we ever know? Would we ever know? Fuck no. Maybe if we was 007 James Bond, bro. Alright, I really enjoyed today's video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video as much as I did. If you did, please go down there, leave a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. While you're down there, if you want, go on over, slap the subscribe button. Just, let's see. Yeah, right there. Get that subscribe button. Become part of the B5 Nation. We do some crazy stuff here. If you want to know when that crazy stuff happens, ding that bell, turn on all notifications. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Man, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't want to end up in a bag. I don't. I don't want to be. I'm a little claustrophobic. That's too small of an area. There's never going to be a time where I decide to stick myself in a bag. I don't care how kinky of a person I am. I ain't doing it. It ain't fucking happening. No.